Welcome to another Conductor Thursday live stream. I am joined by two fantastic guests, George the Disney Italiano and Orange Grove 55. How you two doing tonight, gentlemen?
We are doing fantastic. It's always good. It's always good. It's always good. It's always good being on your show, Conductor, for that hot, steamy Disney news and info. Am I breaking up right now? Is everything good?
You're good. You're good. George disappeared for a second. I think it had something to do with him viewing the Haunted Mansion bar that we're going to talk about on the Disney Treasure. But George,
sorry, I do have to say your intro. I love that music. It's something that you get to hear like right before you take a gal on the Matterhorn.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Pretty much. George, can you let everyone know where they can find you on social media?
Yeah, absolutely. You can find me on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Disney George. You could also find me on Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky under the Disney Italiano. And of course, you can find me on my home base on Orange Grove 55 with Citrus Corner, with all that sweet, juicy, but sometimes sticky Disney news and info.
And you can find me at the club.
Monster on the beat, ho.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, you can find me on Orange Grove 55, Orange Grove 55 on YouTube, as well as well, I guess I'm still on X, but I don't really tweet anymore, really, to be honest with you. And also on Blue Sky, Orange Grove 55. But I'm mostly on Instagram these days. I'm having a good time on Instagram. It's pretty fun, actually. So check me out on there. All platforms. All platforms will be Orange Grove 55.
Absolutely. And I both of your guys' information down below in the description. So anyone in the chat, you don't follow these guys, you're missing out. OG and the Disney Italiano have amazing content. And if you sign up with their Patreon, they have to check out. Definitely adult rated, but definitely citrusy.
Yeah, we do a members tier on the channel on YouTube, and if you join, I think it's like $4.99, right, George? I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, $4.99. Yeah. I should know this, but yeah, it's $4.99, and we do exclusive member streams, exclusive videos. But with the member streams, though, you can really get to know us. We do a lot more personalized stuff, and sometimes it gets a little spicy, you know. But hey, it differentiates the member content from the normal content, I guess, right?
Well, I would think a little bit, but I think the big difference is we do the same thing we do on the regular channel, but for the members, we just do it in thongs.
Yeah, right, exactly. That's how we do it, bro. That's how we do it. You know what I'm saying? Can a guys wear a thong sometimes? You know, just kind of air them out, you know?
Heck yeah. So why? What we're going to be talking about is a range of subjects. We got Universal City Walk updates. We got Downtown Disney City, I'm going to say City Walk updates. I'm going to say Tiana's Bayou Adventure review that you, Orange Grove 55, George, and Theme Park Wizard, that's going to be joining us in a little bit, have road. I'm going to get your thoughts on that. We're also going to be talking about Epic Universe has dropped some more news with the new Harry Potter land, the Ministry of Magic ride. We got some activity happening at Universal Hollywood with the hillside behind the Mummy on the lower lot getting completely ripped out. So we're going to be talking about all that. Also, that just broke. We're going to be talking about the Disney Treasure, the Haunted Mansion themed bar, which is absolutely stunning. So, gentlemen, do you want to start with that? The Haunted Mansion theme bar?
Yeah, we could do that. But real quick, before we do that, I just want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat. We got Abby in the chat. I think you know her, George. I'm not sure. I think you might know.
Yes, definitely.
I think you know Abby. We got Dragon Blood in the chat. We got Seymour Duck, Mr. Seymour Duck in the house, and Universal High. I'm a huge fan of Universal High on Twitter. Universal High, it's great to see you. You're awesome. Love your content. And we got there's a lot of great people in the chat right now. So yeah, just want to thank everybody for hanging out with us. Appreciate you.
Oh, absolutely. And if you guys don't follow me on socials or YouTube, you can find me on Instagram and YouTube at ThemeParkConductor. You could find me on X at ThemeConductor. You can also find me out on my Discord. I have all the links down below in the description alongside these two fantastic guests that we have tonight. But the first story we're going to dive deep into is the Haunted Mansion bar. I want to kind of jump into that and get your guys' thoughts, because George, I was talking to you before we started, and it looks like you were telling me that you guys kind of went over it a little bit. So I want to get your thoughts on that. Let me pull it up real quick. Sorry, I have so many tabs up.
Just don't pull the wrong tab. You know what I'm saying? Be careful.
Oh. Holy crap. Okay. So, WDW News today did a video, and they filmed a video about the bar. Obviously, they were there. Oh, look who decided to show up. Uh-oh. Now it's going to be a party. Hold on. Hold on. Now we got Wizard in the house. Now it's going to be a real party. Wizard.
That's
Man.
me.
God, it's been a
The
while.
Wiz.
There we go. We got the hype train for Wizard.
You.
We got the hype train. We got the hype train for Wizard. Hold on. I actually have.
Nothing can stop us now.
There it is. He is in the house.
Oh yeah.
God, it's always good to have you on, Wizard. Do you want to let everyone know where they can find you on social media before we get started?
You can find me on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram at Theme Park Wizard and Blue Sky.
Oh, there he is, Mr. Blue Sky. Absolutely, Blue Sky is coming up. Actually, a lot of people are moving over there to Blue Sky. It's been crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Oh, I think we're losing you, Conductor. You're getting kind of choppy.
Yeah, you know what? I don't blame you guys.
You're going off the rails.
Yeah. Yeah. We're losing you, brother.
There.
No, it's
Okay.
we can hear like every
second.
third word.
More like every fifth.
Yeah.
I think I lost them completely.
Yeah, I think we lost him completely. We'll keep the party started while he's working it out. But George, what were your thoughts on
There we go. Now we're waiting for OG. He disappeared. Wow.
Okay.
Unbelievable. Here, hold on.
Wait, no, where'd OG go?
So
What is he?
I removed him because
What's happening?
What the hell's going on?
now he's
I'm back. Okay, here we go.
crazy. All right.
Oh gosh, OG got the boot.
So we're
Got the boot.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So we're gonna do a review on the Haunted Mansion bar on the Disney Treasure, and then we're gonna talk a little bit about the Epcot themed suite, and dive deep into that. At any point, gentlemen, if you want me to pause the video, just let me know, and we can talk about any segment that you guys see on the video. Sounds good?
Sounds like a plan.
Good.
All right, let's do it. So when they built this, and again, I'm sure everybody's been talking about it for months. Did you guys really honestly think we were gonna only see this on the cruise ship, or do you think it's a possibility we might see some type of replica in the parks?
They need to do.
So are you going to start with Conductor?
I'm going to start with you, George, and just go down the
Okay.
line up here.
So OG and I were talking about this earlier, and honestly, in my personal opinion, I didn't really know how I would feel about them actually incorporating this on one of the Disney cruise ships, because they sort of kind of did something like this with Star Wars, like the hyperspace lounge kind of thing. And I did get to see that, but it was decent. It was okay. It wasn't really nothing to gawk about. But of what they did with the this parlor lounge haunted mansion themed, it's based off of, I think if you're sticking to the story, it's supposed to be somewhat of the events after the attraction itself. So I love how they carry the storyline as it continues from the park to the cruise ship. And also to pay tribute to the one and only Raleigh Crump, to envision his creativity with the ghost fish tank and incorporate that. That is phenomenal. And I think Shane Narani in the chat says it best, that no good idea fully ever goes away at Disney, whether it's big or small. And but to your question, Conductor, I feel, and I mentioned this in my solo live the other day, and I also brought it up to OG, that this could be the starting point of the long anticipated yet rumor Haunted Mansion restaurant attached to the Haunted Mansion. And that would also be a great segue to move into the Villains Land area for sure.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well said.
OG, thoughts on just what we're looking at, and could we see a possible replica be put into the parks?
Yeah, I would definitely add this to the parks. I don't even need it in the parks though. Like, I would be totally fine with this bar coming to like downtown Disney. That would be dope, you know, like another Trader Sam's kind of situation, right? I think that'd be kind of cool. I love the idea of a haunted mansion bar on the cruise ship, because when you're on those big ships, they're massive ships, but you still feel the water. There's still a little bit of a rocking motion, and things kind of creak and make noises. It kind of adds to the ambiance of a haunted mansion bar when that thing is kind of moving and you can hear everything kind of creaking, you know, just the natural ship going through the ocean. I think that's pretty dope. Love the lighting package. I think it's perfect. It's just amazing. You got the Madame Leota in the background. You got the Raleigh Crump aquarium. It's 10 out of 10 for me. I don't know. I don't see anything wrong with it, you know, other than the fact that I don't drink alcohol anymore, which is messed up, because now I can't fully enjoy the experience like I would have. But I really do think it's amazing though. This is great stuff.
Yeah, this is
absolutely Wizard.
Yeah, pretty good, fantastic. Look at how themed this is. This is pretty cool. And yeah, I agree with OG and George. 10 out of 10. I'd love to see it at a Haunted Mansion, like a restaurant, like you said, and or like in downtown Disney, or somewhere. I guess it can't be right next to our Haunted Mansion, but yeah, next to Disney World's Haunted Mansion. Really pretty great, especially if you put, you know, as it leads into Villains Land. It'd be a nice transition over there for like a Haunted Mansion restaurant. Then you exit onto Villains Land. I think the whole thing will work really nicely.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. You know, it's about the Villains Land, because one thing I want to go off the rails about for a second is the Cars Land that's going supposedly. Yeah, I am. That's going into their Tom Sawyer's Island. And I've been hearing rumors that it's still going to go in that location, but it's going to be retrofitted differently, because obviously in Florida they have a lot different weather than we do out here in SoCal. So their concept of a dirt track and some of the elements they want to put for their Cars Land would not work as great as if they did some tweaking to it. And like George and basically all three of you have said, a themed restaurant for the Haunted Mansion, or even a bar trying to go next to the Haunted Mansion and Magic Kingdom would something like that be in that area where Cars Land is supposedly going to be at? Like, I mean, would it share the land going to be used for Cars Land, or where would you guys put something like that? You know,
Well, whatchamacallit, Jack did a very nice video a few years back when he was showing all that stuff. And he said the Haunted Mansion restaurant, he made this little outline. Too bad I don't have the graphic, but we go like just north of the attraction. Like the rivers would still be there, so it wouldn't be on the Cars Land or Cars area, but like just north of the attraction, kind of on the back there, because then Villains Land will go on top. And God, I wish I had Jack's graphic, but it was pretty nice. I don't know if you guys remember that DS9 newscast video, but it was a good one.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Well,
Jack is the absolute king when it comes to those graphics, whether it be like, you know, in terms of the aerial shots of the park, even like the earnings calls and stuff. He breaks down the numbers with those beautiful graphics, really digestible. Seymour Duck and George and I, we did a video on that earnings call, and we used his graphics. I mean, they're like A+. They're always like super clean and like easy to like look at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like I don't know why this is so fast because it's so nice. Yeah, see, go north, go up.
Yeah, see all that right there. That's where the Cars Land area is going to be. So technically, the Villains Land area is going to be more off
north
the path.
North, yeah.
So up here in this
and
region.
See, it's where those trees were in the little part of the rivers where the Haunted Mansion restaurant. Like Jack said, it'll be where those little trees were in that little section right next to the Haunted Mansion.
Yeah, because the Haunted Mansion here, and then the trees right here, it could go right there. That's more than plenty of room for a full blown restaurant, bar, or whatever they want to put there. So I could see that happening.
And then again, it could be right adjacent, right in that can segue nicely into the Villains.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It can almost be, and I don't know how they would do it. Like they would have to, you know, obviously do some tweaking, but you know, as you're passing it to go into Villains Land, you can have that restaurant or bar or whatever literally on the path. So it's bringing in people as people are going in the Villains Land or coming out of Villains Land. So that would be a perfect location for it by far. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a great transition between that and Villains Land. I think it's perfect. That's where you put it 100%. But like I said before too, I wouldn't be mad though if they put it like in Disney Springs or downtown Disney. You know, I've always thought like with that Trader Sam's concept, you can sort of do that. You know, I've always wanted them to kind of expand upon that idea a little bit more than they have. So yeah, if they want to do it outside the park, dude, that's crazy. They got a Pepper's Ghost effect even.
They use the Pepper's Ghost for the dancing ghost. They also incorporate Madame Leota, that she's saying her chant and her spells and everything. It's really cool. And honestly, the hype for this cruise ship in general, again, something that OG we're talking about on our channel, that it's fascinating of like night and day, like of how the Disney Wish was really not showcased in this manner, but like they're going all out for the treasure.
Oh yeah, dude, they're going all out, dude.
And you'll be first in line, George. Yeah.
You know me, I'm a cruise guy.
And you get that special access too, George. So you're literally the first in line, bro.
Camp over.
And Abby will be second in line.
There she is.
Yep. You know, so yeah, the possibilities are endless. Again, this is going to be a great addition to the Disney Treasure. Obviously, if they bring some like this or a full-blown restaurant, either Magic Kingdom or the Disneyland Resort, it's going to be a ginormous hit. You know, one thing I wanted to ask before we jump to the Epcot suite of the Disney Treasure was, do you think, and let me know if I'm wrong, because it's been quite a few years since I've been to the Disneyland Resort. obviously I wasn't able to get a magic key this time around. They just went too quick because everyone's buying the cheaper versions of the pass and kind of staying away from the higher versions of the magic keys. Did they ever fill in Steakhouse 55, that restaurant? Did they ever do something with that or no?
Isn't that the sleep? George, correct me if I'm wrong, or Wizard, correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't that the Sleeping Beauty themed restaurant now, if I'm not mistaken?
See, I think, but isn't that? I think it's like not all of it, though, right? Isn't it just like the lobby bar area, not the actual restaurant, or
Did
is
they
it the
break it out
restaurant?
like into two separate things?
I'm
No.
trying to think because I know it's
As
definitely
far,
in that location. I just don't know
oh,
if it's all of it.
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, the reason
I think
up is for years, even before COVID, it closed and it's been shuttered, and then something like this would easily fit in that space as a full-blown restaurant. Mansion themed, why not? If you don't have a location downtown Disney, why not? Because it caters to hotel guests and it caters to anyone that's at the resort, at the other, hotels nearby, or just visiting the resort for the day can go walk over there and experience it.
Yeah, no, absolutely, 100%, 100%.
or actually even better. Check this out. You tear down Rainforest Cafe, right? Now
Oh, there you
that's a third company. So of course it went out. This would be different because I know we talk about purpose-built building, right? But this
Yeah.
one you build like in downtown Disney, in that spot, like a little mini haunted mansion. See, and a purpose-built building would be good if it's Disney's property because you don't have to worry about going out of business or anything because it's Disney's property. So it's not a third party. So I think that's when the themed buildings can go really all out. You put a little mini haunted mansion, put that bar on the second floor, and on the first floor could be this really cool, highly themed merch shop or kind of experience, maybe like a walkthrough, some sort of walkthrough or like immersive experience. Make it like a haunted mansion experience to the people who don't have a ticket for the park.
That's
Absolutely.
perfect, dude. I love that idea. You build a little mini mansion there. Like you said, you could do that. You can do that exhibit walkthrough thing on the bottom floor. Then you walk. Then that could be kind of while you're waiting for your number to be called, your name to be called, or whatever. And then you go up, and that's where the bar is. That's brilliant, Wizard. I love that idea. And there's a lot of rooms. Look how big that thing is.
And people, yeah, exactly, right. And people, they go crazy over Haunted Mansion merch, and there's really not a lot of space for it in New Orleans Square. So this would be an opportunity to really stack that first floor with some cool merchandise from Haunted Mansion. I think that'll do really well.
Yeah, I agree. That's a great idea.
Abby gave you a thumbs up, Wizard.
Thumbs up from the Abby.
But yeah, so I'm super excited to see what the response will be once it officially opens to everybody. And then, like we just talked about, we're going to see replicas of this bar or even a restaurant coming to the parks. I can't see it not happening.
It's money in the bag for Disney, and come on, Daddy Josh, get that bread, get that head. Come on, let's bring it to the park. Let's bring it to downtown Disney.
I just noticed there's a baseball field, a mock baseball field on the roof of the ESPN zone. I never knew that. That's funny.
Yeah.
It
is kind of weird, huh? It's weird that's been there for years. I never knew why they did that though. Like, I wonder what the purpose of that is. I guess maybe just for fun,
commercials.
Like Easter egg. Yeah. Kind of cool.
Yeah,
pretty cool.
It was stuff like that. I don't think it was used for significant because obviously it would be a liability. And you can't trust people.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
But we're going to talk about right now staying on the Disney Treasure cruise ship. I want to ask you guys what by them coming up with a Tomorrow Tower Suites, and you're this. It's a representation of Epcot. First of all, I want to get your thoughts. because I've talked to all of you at one point or another and asked you, especially George and OG. You said when you go out to Walt Disney World, one of your favorite parks is Epcot. And now you can have the Epcot experience as a suite on the Disney Treasure. What do you guys think about that?
No, I think that's awesome. I love what they're doing on the Disney Treasure. I love what they're doing here, how they're they're taking the parks, the IP of the parks, essentially, right? Like Haunted Mansion, Epcot, and they're utilizing them in really smart ways on this ship. This is probably one of the best ships they've ever done, in my opinion. And Epcot is a great IP. It's a park IP, basically. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot you can do with it. I think it's fantastic, dude. And for the diehard, kind of Epcot nerds, and there's a lot of them, believe me. There's a lot of them. I think they'll have a good time here, just kind of chilling and kind of checking everything out. So it looks great.
And it's only for $90,000.
That's it. Come on now, you know what I'm saying?
It's $90,000.
That's chump change.
Yeah, that right. But just look at the design aspects, how much detail went into this suite. You got a statue of Figment. It's like that's icing on the cake right there. Who doesn't like Figment, for God's sake? So
and big shout out to Dragon Blood for mentioning Westcott. Dragon Blood.
Yeah, where's the Westcott suite? Come on now.
Well, apparently it seems like that there were talks that Westcott is going into Shanghai Disney. So I started manifesting like Westcott, but I neglected to the fact of where it was going. So.
Come on, George, you're making them worse. That's even farther than Florida.
Yeah,
Oh, this is pretty cool. I didn't know this before. You see that? It's kind of like a light show on the ceiling.
Yeah,
with Figment.
little fiber optic. That's pretty cool.
Oh, that's pretty awesome. And that's in the bed.
That's cool. It's cool, except when it's pitch black and you walk in the room and you forget it's there, and then you see this monster lit up on the roof.
Exactly. It's funny, and I'm probably totally aging myself right now. None of you young dudes are probably going to remember this show, but do you remember that show, The Wuzzles?
Oh yes, I remember.
You remember, George?
Familiar.
I remember the Wuzzles.
Yeah, early 1980s. It was like a Disney animated TV show. I think it was like actually the first Disney animated TV show, even before DuckTales, and all that, right? And for every time I see Figment, that's what he reminds me of. He reminds me of a Wuzzle.
A Wuzzle.
He's a Wuzzle.
Funny name. Yeah, a little Wuzzle.
Little Wuzzle.
Yeah, you little Wuzzle.
The color scheme of the Wuzzles always kind of like reminded me of like the Care Bears kind of thing. Like that.
I like the Care Bears.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
bless you.
Oh, thank you.
What the hell kind of sneeze was that?
It was a Wuzzle sneeze.
It
was a Wuzzle sneeze.
Dragon Blood said it's worth $90,000. Hey, there you go.
There you go.
Good.
There it is. You got some cool Epcot art on the wall. I mean, it's cool. I'm digging it.
Oh,
it looks good to me.
Again, between
when I stay there, no, but it looks good to me.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? It out and I'm on that ship and they're willing to give me a free tour. I'm not going to say no.
The tour is nice. I just can't imagine spending $90,000 on anything. I just can't imagine.
Hey, Wizard. One of these days, your channel and my channel, we're gonna blow up, dude. And we're gonna look at that and go, 90,000, dude. I got that in my seat cushions. That's no big deal. You know
I hope so. Except by then, Daddy Josh will hopefully give us a media night free stay.
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
Exactly.
Or at least give us other than blue sky or anything like that, or at least learn how to say stuff that doesn't mean shovels are in the ground. No, it's not. But now
this was one of the like the concierge suites. I thought there was one more that was based off of something else.
Do you know what it might be, George? Because I can look it up. I just don't know what it is.
I can't remember. I think WDWNT covered it I just can't remember because that said room, what was it, 14,000?
Yeah.
The other room was 13,000.
Okay.
I just can't
So
remember.
it's less inferior. It's inferior.
So instead of 90,000, it's going to be 50,000.
Yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
Cheap.
Yeah.
Now that I can afford.
Yeah, right.
Oh man.
Oh, there you
That's
go.
nice.
Dragon Blood here says manifest theme park wizard $1 million lottery win. There we go.
Perfect.
Please, that would be nice. I could pay for a lot.
Manifesting theme park wizard $1 million lottery win. How about I manifest the Italiano $1 million lottery win?
What?
Yeah, you can win $1 million in the Italian lottery in Italy. Okay, I'll win the American one.
Thanks. Yeah, because maybe some of the what is it? The I don't even know what the currency is at. I could say $1 million and it could be probably worth
like $1.
Oh, problem.
There you go.
There you go.
Oh my god. Look at that shit there, man.
That's pretty
Thing's
cool.
Wow. They definitely spent some time making that thing. I think.
Yes, they spent a good 3 minutes. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Else has to do with it.
That looks very Star Warsy.
Very. Yeah, I was gonna say that, Wizard. You're right. Very Star Cruiser-ish.
Yeah.
I tell you though, if you're a Disney nerd and you take your Disney nerd date to the Tomorrow Suite, you're probably gonna get lucky.
And you're not gonna get lucky normally. You're just gonna have some Disney lucky. Wink, wink.
Wait.
You're gonna get lucky the Disney way.
There you go. Exactly.
Disney edition.
Yeah.
Especially in that nice big bathtub. Yeah.
Oh.
Someone's getting Disney edition lucky there.
Oh boy.
I don't need to spend that 90,000 on that. I'll just get a regular basic inside stateroom. I'll do it right up on top of the bunk bed.
Stateroom.
But
Hey, look, the 90,000 comes with
flickering
some
like
nice
crazy.
free hangers.
Yeah, dude, this is totally the Star Cruiser, Wizard. You hit the nail on the
Yeah, I mean,
head.
look
Like,
at it. Yeah, that's definitely Star Wars stuffy. Which
yeah,
I feel
definitely
like that's
seems-
I feel like that's the coolest room on the ship.
yeah,
Because I like how the curve is like that.
yeah,
Wow.
it's pretty cool.
Oh, there's those free hangers again.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
oh
Pretty
yeah.
awesome stuff.
Oh, definitely. So
Now,
it-
I hope with the lightning lane and the 90,000, you get a free lightning lane to the onboard activities.
Yeah, exactly. No, Wizard, that'll cost you extra $400.
Oh, man. I'm surprised they don't have lightning lane on cruises. I feel like that's
It's
coming.
called the Raja Royal Suite.
the Raja.
like
Raja, right?
Aladdin, the tiger. Yes.
Yeah.
I wonder if I can look it up on YouTube. Actually, I'm gonna.
So basically, what it
do
is
that.
is what the description is saying. It's based off of the feline sidekicks from The Lion King, The Jungle Book, and Aladdin. That's a room
Okay,
with a whole lot of pussy.
Yeah.
Exactly, George.
God.
I was thinking the same thing, but I'm like, oh, I don't know. And then George just does it. He just takes the opportunity. I love it.
Did you take your vitamins today? Is that what happened?
You get your D, George? You got your D, your vitamin D?
I don't really take the D, but I usually give the D.
Oh my god!
George is the ultimate D supplier.
There he is. He's dropping the D off.
Wow.
That's
Majority of the cruise ships do have the D lounge.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, well, that's true. They do. Yeah, that's true. You know, that's interesting. If you're okay, let's just say a woman who's like pregnant, right?
Sure.
She's we're going off the rails right now for sure. But if a woman's pregnant and she has her kid on the Disney cruise, like out in the open water, what country does that kid belong to?
Well, funny that you actually say that. You have to be you're not allowed to go on a cruise ship after you hit a certain amount of months of being pregnant.
Okay.
Oh, that's good too, because that's a good question. Because I know they have like a medical center, but I'm like, wow, that'd be kind of interesting. Give birth on the cruise. Huh.
That's highly unfortunate because I would like I wouldn't mind Dr. Mickey delivering my baby or Figment being there. That would be a magical moment, wouldn't it?
But you know, the good thing is, I'm sure there's at least 50 to 55% of the women getting pregnant on the cruise ship. So you know, there's that.
That is true. Yeah, I'm for sure. The rate of getting pregnant. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. After a few hours at the Haunted Mansion bar and a night at the Epcot suite, it's 9 months later. You know what? You know
it, you know,
and
you're stuck on there with the same people for 7 whole days.
It's true. It's very, very true.
I have that this and there's those
they get
free
more
hangers again.
fingers.
Oh, and a robe. Now things are getting tense.
Now, wow. Conductor, your stream, you're cutting out in and out pretty bad, brother.
He's off the rails.
Yeah, you're off the rails. But we hear your voice, but it's like every 10th word. No, yeah,
that's all right. I'll cut the hell with it.
I heard the hell with it.
Yeah, we heard that. That was it. That's all we heard. Hell with it. Okay. We only heard that.
We're just gonna do it. Hell with it.
But I think this is the Raja suite.
Is it?
It
is. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is.
Nice.
It's not as fancy. I'd rather pay that 90,000. Freaking.
Yeah, like if I look at this, I wouldn't know what this is themed about. I see.
Yeah, me neither.
I see no.
You don't see any pussy, George?
I don't see any pussy.
George, you gotta look closely at the sheets. You never know what you might find.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Wizard, you gotta take a black light to it, right?
Yeah.
Good God.
No. In all seriousness, though, there's not a whole lot of theming, though. This is the Raja suite. I don't see any tigers, any.
Yeah, because they said it was based off of the feline sidekicks of the Lion King, Jungle Book, and Aladdin. I don't
see any of that. Yeah. There you go. That's it. Exactly, Abby. That's it. Oh, this is.
I must be right there, taking a bath right there. Oh, that'd be nice with the view.
Yeah, that's perfect.
You know, if you're
they have like these big open glass windows, and they have the tub right there. It's like it's right up next to a cruise ship you don't even know.
Right there, jacuzzi, special.
Yeah,
love the jacuzzi.
Oh, we love the jacuzzi, dude. I remember, George. We went on the Wish like over a year ago now, right? Mm-hmm. And we were both hitting up that jacuzzi a lot. Yeah. I tell you though, with that Bahamas heat, dude, I mean, you can feel it, man. You can you're out there and it's like your skin is just like melting. It's so hot. It's like the heat is so different than it is out here in California. I think because you're closer to the air.
You even got sun even with having your shirt on.
Yeah, I have my shirt on. I still got sunburn under my shirt.
Yes.
Under my shirt. There you go. Cashback.
Yeah, exactly. With McDonald's.
You better hope they're sponsoring you, Theme Park Conductor.
No. The hell is McDonald's?
You don't get that.
It's all about screwing McDonald's, and that's where it's at.
I think Spectrum. I think Spectrum Internet needs to sponsor Conductor. It's kind of in and out so bad.
Yeah, come on, Spectrum. We gotta sponsor Conductor, like you sponsor me.
Exactly.
Little wizard app.
Yeah.
Oh, I heard a wizard.
I heard
Oh, yes,
wizard.
there's Donkey Kong.
Let's do
Yeah.
it. We got some
Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong.
This is an epic universe. Wizard, I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna keep my lips shut. If you can hear me correctly, I know it's not coming to Hollywood, so I'm not gonna mention anything about that. But this looks amazing.
Oh, yes, looks fantastic. I can't wait to ride it next year.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, this looks really, really good. I really, really like this. I think that the concept of the jump track is really fun. That's gonna be trippy because we as nerds, we know the trick, right? But it's still gonna mess with you though. Like you're still gonna see that, and it's gonna be that natural primal instinct to like, oh shit, we're jumping. But I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. Oh, go ahead, Wizard.
I'm saying even I mean, we know it, but there are people that walk into Disneyland and think they're at Disney World or some other crazy thing. So I'm sure this little trick will go over most people's heads because they're not that smart.
Yeah, well, that is true. Is that true? Yeah, no, for us, we know the trick, but yeah, you're right. What about the normies, the casuals, the casual guests that don't know, and they go and they do this? It's gonna be crazy.
What trick are you talking about? It's actually it jumps the track. There is no trick. Like what are you talking about?
Oh yeah, exactly. It's legit. It's literally just gonna jump the track, right?
Yeah, it doesn't. You just better hope it doesn't miss and jump into you.
Exactly. Now, Conductor, are we gonna cover those ride vehicles for the Ministry of Magic ride today?
Yeah, we are. Let me jump into that. Actually, believe it or not, because I have
Dude, this is amazing, bro. Like, this is seriously like.
Well, I brought this up. I forget where I brought it up from. I think it was on one of the solo lives that I actually think that this is more impressive, believe it or not, than a lot of people say, oh my gosh, this is just like the movie. I think this is more impressive than the movie because when you're filming something, you only get one-dimensional look of where the camera is shooting.
Yeah.
The rest of it is where you get all the camera equipment, you get the blue screen, the green screen. This is a 360 degree, like no matter where you look, you get the in-depth detail of what the Ministry of Magic actually looks like.
And the tile work, the giant statues.
I just want to address Sean. You do get shot out of the barrel. That the first launch is out of the barrel for the Donkey Kong coaster there.
There it is.
Yeah. But yeah, isn't it crazy? Like these are all like real photos. They just took them, and they're like right there. But what's most impressive is this ride vehicle to me because it looks so comfortable. It looks like a 1970s, 50s style classic architecture. It looks so comfortable.
Yeah, and with the leather.
Yeah. I was like,
look at that, man.
What is this? The White House? Like, my goodness. Like, that's so cool.
That's awesome. And I've never seen a ride vehicle. This is what I really wanted to talk about because I've never seen a ride vehicle dressed up this way before. Right?
Yeah, this is just like the queue, and the ride vehicle just like has some metal seats or whatever, just some kind of basic seats. Even like Rise of the Resistance, the vehicle's themed, but then the seats are just kind of like black, or gray or whatever. But these are like the first time, like they look like couches. I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah. That's incredible. Now, Wizard, I have a question for you. You're the universe. You're the universal guy. Is this a Tower of Terror kind of attraction, or not as crazy as that?
It's not as crazy. So this is interesting. So it's the same vehicle basically as Tower of Terror, but it's on like a big motion base. So it's more like a Transformers with the Tower of Terror ride vehicle. So when you go back up, you can see like the sensors. Those little circles right there on top. Those are like the sensors, like smells and stuff, and wind, because they're gonna use that kind of like Space Mountain. They have the fans on to make you feel like you're going faster. So this will use animatronics, but then screens at certain point to make you feel like you're going hundreds of levels up and down, but you're really only dropping 2 or 3 stories at a time. So it's not too bad. But
dude,
is that what they're considering on doing? Sort of something like that Spider-Man ride that's going into one of the international parks. Is that same type of ride?
That one, I think that one looks like a Tower of Terror clone, like a Guardians of the Galaxy sort of clone.
Okay.
Yeah. But
dude, this is beautiful. This is absolutely beautiful. And here's the thing: Universal has done a really amazing job with the Wizarding World before, with Diagon Alley, incredible. With the original Wizarding World, incredible. This is even more impressive than I think what we've seen before from them, which is saying a lot. I mean, this is a crazy
Like,
themed,
this is, like, insane.
Yeah, this is insane. This is literally crazy. Like, I've never seen anything like this.
no, because if you really think about it, like you just said, you know, you got the original Hogsmeade and Hogwarts. Then they jumped up to the next level by building Diagon Alley and the Hogwarts Express. You can't tell me that was not next level. They'll actually ride a replica train of that Hogwarts Express, and now you're going to be able to ride the Ministry of Magic, and we can all see just the amount of detail that went into this attraction, went into this land. It's mind-blowing.
No, it is
actually really cool as an add-on during Halloween season for like when they do Halloween Horror Nights, is if you can go, if they built a you know, in the Order of the Phoenix, where when it's closer to the end, you know, before you get down into the Ministry, where they have like the long dark hallways with all the little glass orbs with like the memories and stuff, and then the Death Eaters are coming out of the shadows. That would be so cool if they made a replica of that, but it's a walkthrough for Halloween Horror Nights.
Oh,
yeah. And you know, it would be really cool, like super cool, if you know how they obviously have the Hogwarts Express, right? But if they made like an actual like subway train or underground people mover or something from Ministry all the way to Islands of Adventure, because it's not too terribly far away. It's a couple miles, but with they have the city approval stuff. But that'd be cool if you can literally take trains to connect each Wizarding World land. You know, that'd be awesome.
That would be cool. That's not impossible. It's only like a couple of miles away, right?
Yeah,
from what I understand.
So if they just get like the hardest part's obviously the city approvals and stuff. But if they really wanted to, they can do it and just dig an underground 2-mile tunnel, have underground people mover. It could be like a Parisian subway maybe, and then it goes back and forth and connects you to all 3 lands.
So basically, Wizard, what you're saying is, for someone that's traveling like me, if I was to fly down to Florida, get an Uber, and then take the Hogwarts Express, what you're saying is that's basically I'm planes, trains, and automobiles?
That's right.
There you go. Exactly.
Well, you know, since OG named it best, you're the best at this with Universal. I call you the godfather of permits when it comes to the theme parks, especially Universal.
Oh, yeah.
Well, actually, that's my office right there. You're looking right at it. It looks nice. Our office, pretty nice.
Do you think we can do this at Hollywood, or do you think we might see a different version of this, or it's kind of just too soon to say anything about that?
I don't know, man. I heard it from a couple people. They were considering the Ministry of Magic ride, like a Diagon Alley, but then Ministry of Magic ride here. So, you know, it's not impossible. Not impossible. We'll have to see what happens.
You know, to be honest with you, I think for our park, because a lot of people, and I've talked to a lot of people when I'm there filming updates, I've talked to team members as well. They've all said at one point or another that we kind of got the end of the stick. Quite understandable, because, you know, Hollywood's tiny. But I think if we got a version of Diagon Alley and infused it with this new land and having the Ministry of Magic ride and not having the Green Gots ride and this in there, I think people would be happy at the Hollywood Park, especially all the updates going to that park right now.
Yeah. No,
well, think about it. Think about it. They said, you know, I know they said it looks like we got the short end of the stick now, right? But for a while, Islands of Adventure just had Hogsmeade and no Hagrid's, right?
True.
So just like here, we've only had Hogsmeade for 8 years, and they got Diagon Alley after like 10 years or so. So, I mean, they also just had one Harry Potter land for a while. They're just obviously farther ahead, but it's not like
Sure.
we're never gonna get another one, or we have to
Me
short end that
personally,
door.
I would prefer. I mean, if Universal Hollywood does get something like this, that would be really cool. I would rather them kind of focus on like adding like a different kind of IP
Sure.
into Universal Hollywood. Like if Dark Universe
Yeah.
obviously is going to do very well. I would love to see the classic monsters get their own area at Universal Hollywood. Perhaps even Donkey Kong Country. I would love to see them utilize a different IP. Although this would be really cool for Hollywood, but being that it's so confined with land,
Yeah.
I would hate for them to utilize land on an IP that they already have. I would like to see them kind of spread the wealth a little bit.
Sure.
And I had this after coming out from Wicked yesterday. Whew, I was like, man, they should, instead of the Hogwarts Express, I was like, they can take that train from Wicked to the Falls Lake area and then have it build a nice giant emerald city. You can use the same ride system as this, but like themed to the Wizard of Oz or something. And I think that would be super cool. Also, it would give something super unique to Hollywood. Like imagine like giant green castles or something. Like that would be so cool. And if you haven't seen Wicked, go see it. But I think that would be a nice way to give Hollywood a unique IP that's also really big and have its own thing for a while, which would be pretty cool.
Yeah, and not to spoil anything, I saw it this morning. Absolutely amazing movie, and I actually heard this was only part 1. Wizard, they're making
yes, it is part 1. Yeah.
Part 2 actually comes out 1 year today.
Yeah, next year.
I'm actually going to go see it on Wednesday, the day before.
Nice.
Thanksgiving.
Oh, there you go. Perfect. Yeah, so it could come to Hollywood, a version of that, the Wizard, either something like this or Emerald City. I wouldn't mind either one. Now with the Nintendo property, Wizard kind of gets a little wizardy with the little wand every time I mention Donkey. So I'm not going to mention it. But we could a Haunted Mansion land. We could see there's a lot of possibilities. There's Haunted Mansion, there's Zelda, there's Star Fox, there's Banjo-Kazooie, there's Crash Bandicoot. There's a lot of things they can play around with and extend Nintendo. Now, someone referenced this to me, Wizard, and I don't think it would make any significant changes to Nintendo itself. Someone was saying that it was rumored to go around that the Dino Play area was going to be consumed by Nintendo, and I said, well, even if Nintendo expanded that way, let's say it did even a little bit, it's not significant enough where it's going to be another land. Maybe they might add another shop or something like that, but it's not going to be significant. What do you think about that?
Oh well, maybe they heard something. I heard only from one person that the next expansion to Nintendo will take over the Stage 12 area. So maybe, which is also by Dino Play. So maybe that's what they're talking about. But
yeah,
still early. But I did hear about that half demolished Stage 12 area would be demolished for Nintendo expansion sometime in the next 10 years.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. But just the amount of detail that went into this, I know a lot of people, when Epic Universe opens in May, everyone's going to run the Dark Universe. That's just natural instinct. But I wouldn't count out the Wizarding World, especially with this type of detail. You know, it's like they cheaped out with it. They went above and beyond with it. It looked like to me.
No, they did. They did. And it was a smart move on Universal's part because, mind you, this is a third iteration of a Wizarding World land. So this one, to differentiate itself from the other two, has to be a home run and really just knock it out of the park. And they succeeded. I mean, this is absolutely incredible. So it definitely, I think that the way this looks will definitely garner a ton of interest, even though the other two lands are there. This is different enough and impressive enough that I think that it's going to be very, very popular.
Well, and I will also say too, because Conductor, you had mentioned about like, natural instinct of, people may just like run to dark universe or, don't count out Harry Potter and what have you. Being that you said that, kind of like segueing off into that, because Abby and I will be there for opening day of Epic Universe, just because, just to be able to experience it. I know it's going to be very crazy that day, but we want to see
Does Bob Iger know that? Because you might lose. He might revoke your special access. Are you
Yeah,
So I actually heard that possibly
might put you
Iger
in Disney
tomorrow
jail.
might. I possibly heard that Iger and tomorrow might be there secretly undercover. So maybe taking some mental notes. You never know.
You never know.
Actually,
I'm
I have some
curious.
breaking news. You know who's actually going to be there undercover?
Uh-oh.
Sean Nyberg. He is going to be there. He told me. I'd be great. I bet he would be there though. Look for him, George, and take a picture and post it everywhere.
Yeah.
There you go.
But I'm curious to see like how operations is going to go. Like,
Yeah.
to even get into the park, it's going to be crazy. And then each individual land is going to have its own entrance and exit with its own portal. So is that going to be a very smooth transition, or is there going to be a line just to even get into one land, and then you'd have to get in line for the attractions within that land? I'm very curious to see how that goes.
Do you have any insight on that, Wizard, in terms of like how they're going to handle that? Like, is there going to be like queuing up for each portal to get into the land, and then
because I curious how that's going to work, because I know you have to use your face for a lot of the things, right? So you'll have to. They'll probably use maybe a small queue to scan in to each place. So I'm curious if when it's full, I guess it'll just close it. But I wonder if whatchamacallit, they can go ahead and do like virtual like with Single Life for Pets does. When it gets too full, they switch to a virtual line thing. So I wonder if they'll do that with the portals. When they get too full, then you have to just get a return time to come back a little later. I don't know, but that'd be very interesting to see. I'm sure they'll probably like limit capacity that first couple of weeks, just so they can get the operation. But I guess they'll be doing a lot of soft openings. So I guess we'll kind of see how it works then, and they'll probably test and adjust there. But it'd be very interesting to do what happens when a portal fills up. That's one good thing about the How to Train Your Dragon area. It's like super large. It's like 14 acres. So that would have a very hard time filling up. So at least that would be this kind of the scapegoat. Like, oh, okay, everything else is full. Let's go hang out in dragons for a second.
Yeah, and by the way, not to go too off topic, but that live action, the trailer for Dragons looks absolutely incredible. I was texting Wizard the other day. I'm like, Universal should really do like a series, like a Game of Thrones like series on that franchise. There's so much potential with that.
That'd be amazing. I'd watch it.
Yeah, everyone who joined me on earlier's solo live, they were all kind of given their interpretation of like what opening day at Epic Universe was going to be, and Dragon Blood was saying Left 4 Dead and the Walking Dead and everything.
Yeah,
it's funny.
It's going to be crazy, but
I'll be right back.
But basically, I think opening weekend, regardless of any theme park that opens a land or a ride or a show or anything like that, it's going to get nuts no matter what. And that's just unavoidable. One thing I can say though, obviously, in the Florida parks, their lands are a lot bigger because of space. So I don't think they're going to have as much problems after maybe the first couple weekends of Epic Universe opened officially, compared to some like out here in Hollywood or even the Disneyland Resort. OG, George, you guys know, even Wizard knows, we all know, once Disneyland Forward happens and they start building Avatar, they start building the Coco, they start building Frozen or whatever lands they bring to the Disneyland Resort. Same thing with Universal Hollywood. Once they build and finish the Hollywood Drift, the Fast and Furious, all these theme parks are going to get slammed. That's just, it's going to happen. Regardless how much planning you plan for it, it's going to happen. So yeah. I think Epic Universe is going to be fine. like I said, obviously the first weekend, the first couple weekends, it's going to be a madhouse, but it will work itself out a lot better than one of the theme parks out here in SoCal. I could promise you that.
Yeah, and I agree with you. And here's the thing, Conductor. The biggest hurdle with any new park is just getting that park built. Once you build that park, you can adjust operations. You can even adjust the park itself and the offerings in that park. Getting the thing built and getting the infrastructure built to have that thing exist is the biggest struggle. Oh, yeah. So Universal has already overcome that. You know what I'm saying? So that was the hardest thing. They've already done that. Now they can, okay, if operationally this doesn't work, that doesn't work, they could fix that very easily. If, let's just say, one of the lands isn't as popular as the other lands, they can even adjust that. It's like DCA, right? The biggest hurdle for Disney was just getting that thing built and getting all the infrastructure and getting Mickey and Friends structure built. But once they had the park in there, then you can come in later on and go, you know what, we need to fix this thing. We can go in there and fix it, you know? So, yeah, Epic Universe will be, even if they have issues short-term, opening day or opening year, eventually they're going to iron all this stuff out. You know, it'll be fine at the end of the day. Absolutely.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. So, again, it's going to be an exciting time for us theme park nerds, as I call us. You know, it's an exciting time what did you
call me? Huh? What'd you call me, man? I agree with you. I agree.
You want to take this outside? Because we can take it outside.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh man. One thing I wanted to ask you, Wizard, since now jump to Hollywood real quick. This is being filmed by Universal High, great friend of the channel, great friend of all. He's a great content creator.
Actually, his name is pronounced Universal High.
You keep that. Film on top of the ET parking structure in the backlot area. According to Universal High, he
smoke him if you got him, huh? Smoke him if you got him.
Saying that these are theming elements for Hollywood Drift for the show building.
Yes, that's the test facades for the warehouse station structure. That particular area is on the one on the left hand side, looking at the coaster. There's been that big window there, but it's pretty cool because it's starting to be covered up. So we should see these facades going in before the end of the year, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, well, he seems to think, and I have another buddy of mine, Virus. You can see his little smiley face here. Weird icon, but gotta love. He has some sources as well saying that theming elements like this is going to start being put up as of this month, leading into the months following. Then I was told also by him that there is a delay on installing more of the track. Apparently, there is an alignment issue with some of the supports going over the first escalator, so that inversion, they're having to adjust some of the supports and bolts and whatnot. Have you heard anything about that?
Yes, actually, Universal High sent me an ISO DM. He's at the park today, and he saw those. I guess there's two Universal employees literally not shouting, but talking loud enough about that exact issue that he just overheard it. So,
yeah. You know what? It's actually funny you mentioned that because I do have that same where it's right here. So this is one of the pictures, but that's not what you're talking about. I have that one. Like you almost would think you would almost think they would be on the construction site talking about it, not in the middle of a pedestrian bridge screaming at each other.
Well,
but okay,
it depends because they might not be permitted because they're not one, they don't have hard hats on, but two, they're just like these like Universal looks like executives guys there. Not really like construction people, so they're just kind of they probably walk around surveying, or they could even be not even really on the project and just heard it from someone on there and just talking about it, explaining
Yeah.
as they go home.
So I want to ask you about something else, Wizard, since we're talking about this project here. So the hillside that's getting torn apart, which is behind the mummy.
Project? There's no project there. I don't see anything going on.
Looks like it's a little more than tree trimming. You that
they're building the theme park wizard executive office right there. Is what they're doing.
Yeah, this is like when they're building Mickey and Minnie's, and they put up the sign. What a big building!
Yeah,
exactly.
Or like theme park obsession says, "Yep, con candy stands going in that location, right there."
That's right. The world's giant con candy stand. No, this was what you call it. I'm surprised it started so late because I saw this permit way back in March of this year, and I kept asking people, I'm like, "Come on, check the hillside for me." Nothing. So I'm finally started. So this is to grade the hill over there. This grading project to fortify the sliding hill will be done by March 2025. And then it seems like they'll be starting to construct the new studio tour entrance, and maybe a new space for that Halloween Horror Nights house that hangs out by the mummy over there. So that's what's going on. And then the studio tour will open before the open before the Fast and Furious, because I've heard that the trams, once the coast opens, they can't go down that road because they'll be too close. The tracks will be too close. So it'll be a fire hazard. So it'll be just a fire road. So I've heard the studio tour Fast and Furious can't open until the studio tour is done, because the studio tour won't be able to operate, and etc.
Well, see, that actually makes perfect sense to me, Wizard, because a lot of people, and I'm not this is going to happen either, but a lot of people, including myself, especially during Halloween Horror Night, which OG, you actually went to the event this year after not going for what seemed like forever. I want to ask you, Wizard, by them possibly, and not confirmed yet, but possibly putting the studio tour relocated to this area, do you think we might see the Metro sets come back for HHN at some point in the future? Since the tram
I have
that direct.
I have no idea. I do know those are used a lot for filming, like this great show we're watching right now. My fiance and I, the Wizardress, we are just premiered, called St. Denis Medical. It's on Peacock, and we saw them filming it on the back lot, so it was pretty cool to see, because now we're like, oh, I see the back lot. So I know there's a lot of filming. They're also filming like a period piece there, and so there's that one really relies on the amount of productions that rent the space.
Sure.
If it can be rented. If it's low demand, then it can go ahead and they use it for Horror Nights. But if it's too high demand, then there's more money in the filming than Horror Nights, so they stick up to the film.
It's something interesting too. I heard, and again, this is just pure speculation. A lot of people were, from what I heard, and again, it's not confirmed by any means necessary, but a lot of people were saying that the mummy. Confirmed. Well, the mummy, the mummy's not getting refurbed anytime soon. I heard they're going to run it to the ground and then close it. Is that where we're at with the mummy, or do you think it still has some life left? Since I posted a picture on X last week when I was there, they were installing new lockers for the mummy. Mm-hmm. Does that?
Yeah, they have the Harry Potter skinny terrible lockers now. So good thing I never used those. But whatchamacallit? Yeah, when the studio tour goes down there, if it goes down, that's when that's like kind of the big phase one, right? So then maybe in 2026 or a little later, you can get rid of the sound stages. That's when the whole lower lot expansion starts. So whether the mummy's a part of that or not, I I don't know, but it's it is not getting refurbed anytime soon. We do know that Transformers is though. So
Yeah.
that's and Jurassic World currently is getting a nice repaint. So the Mummy's the only one left to go. So that one should potentially go leave. I have heard only from one person a while ago said 2026. We'll have to see.
From what I heard, because I like to, what I like to do is when I go to Universal and eventually go back to the Disneyland Resort, I like to go and visit these locations. I like to do the research, but I also like to watch other YouTubers and see what they have to say about the same thing I'm covering, and kind of just, gather all the information and kind of just come out with my own opinion on what's going on. And another friend of the channel, JP Land 21, he was stating that a lot of the animatronics in the Mummy ride, the audio, just a lot of effects are just the timing's off. It's work. So maybe you're right. Maybe they're just kind of.
Well, think about it. The ride opened right 2004. Now, roller coasters usually have a 20-year service life. And what years are now? 2024. After that, they usually get some sort of refurbishment. Look, the Incredible Hulk and Alan's Adventure got that whole total retrack, new trains and all that. The Mummy and Florida, which opened around the same time as this one, got a nice multi-month refurb, right? And this one is not. So you can start speculating, but look at the facts, and they don't point to anything good, at least for fans of the Mummy.
No. Yeah, exactly.
Oh no. That's the thing.
Because we all know, like with Disney, the same thing, right? Splash Mountain wasn't getting a real refurb until they got the re-theme, right? And then other attractions don't really get the refurb until Toontown. Remember Toontown? We all thought it was on the chopping block for all, because those mountains were looking terrible and they were not fixing them. And then, well, now we know why. I got a new ride and they got a whole refurb. So keep checking on to see if things get fixed, because if they don't, we all know what that means. Theme park nerds, we all know what that means.
Oh yeah,
yeah, exactly. The Mummy will be going away.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Dan Simpsons very soon, sooner rather than later, I hope. One more thing I want to ask you, Wizard, is I watched your recent video.
You forgot about Rip Ride Rocket. That's awesome.
Yeah, you were telling me that earlier, Wizard. That's actually really good news, because I heard that thing break down a lot. It's really ugly. They need to get rid of it, put something else better in there.
They need a side note. I've never been on it, obviously, but I can only imagine, because it's a vertical lift tilt. So if you get stuck and you're just like, I'd be terrified.
I get vertigo like crazy. No, thank you. Because I actually got that. It's interesting you mentioned that, because the newest edition, the Knott's Berry Farm, and I know it's been a little while, but the new coaster, I forgot which one.
New coaster,
or
like Montezuma's Revenge, or the ride that just got stuck, the Soul Spin.
No. Well, I
know it's a roller coaster. I actually been on it. I forget the name of it though.
The literal new one, the Timberline Twist Snooper. Oh, Hang Time.
Hang Time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it goes up. Yeah,
that goes completely straight. And then when you get to the top and it bends you over, it literally holds you there.
Yeah,
and then
Yep. Yeah, I literally got vertigo from sitting there. I was in the front seat. It wasn't. I'm bracing for dear life, and I'm like, my eyes are tearing. I'm like, oh my god, so freaking out. I'm like, please God, tell me the ride didn't break down. I'm stuck here for an hour, 2 hours. And then it released. I'm like, oh, thank God. I live another day. Thank God. But yeah, the same. It's
now that was fun.
That
was.
Yeah. Well, me, life or death. Good Lord. I'd rather go burn. for that. Oh my god.
Conductor, you better stop this. I can't breathe.
God. Hi, man.
Oh man.
Good lord. The jump back to Universal for a second. I
You're
watched.
killing me, Conductor. You're killing me.
Hey, one more thing. I watched your latest video, and you can report there's no new markings in the Woody Woodpecker parking lot, correct? For the hotel.
Not yet. Hopefully
Okay.
very soon, because the new TM parking thing took effect. So they're preparing them, definitely.
Okay, perfect. I just want to bring this up real quick. Dragon Blood comment. I really have no comment about the future of the Mummy at Universal Hollywood. Hearing that some things aren't working is this bad. The future isn't looking bright for that ride.
I
Well,
will say though, believe it
believe
or
me,
not,
Dragon
I
Blood,
actually enjoy
It's
the
a
Mummy.
blessing because
I actually enjoy the Mummy at Universal Hollywood over the one in Orlando.
Did you?
Okay, this
Oh
is
yeah,
interesting.
the one in Orlando gets all on my fucking nerves because one,
Can-
it starts you off like climbing up a lift hill. Like what the
Okay.
hell? Like you're already then anticipating like what's going to happen. I like when it just shoots you, like
Mhm.
Sure.
so you're doing the click 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 click, and then each time that you're moving, it hits like a sudden stop. So the
Mhm.
vehicle like rides like on a brake, and it like screeches up against the track. I
Yeah.
don't know. I enjoy Universal Hollywood's much better. I mean, it probably
Interesting.
has
So
issues, but if you think that
Is
has issues,
there more of roller coaster part to Mummy or in Orlando, or is it more dark ridey over there? Like does it have
well, it
like a
is.
significant like backwards, frontwards coaster
It
section
is.
like
It
ours?
is like Coaster, but it's just it keeps on like it because you could even ask Slimer because he and I went on it together, and when we got off on it, he said it was not good at all. Like, and they even had it done for a refurb. And
Yeah, they just went over
it-
multi-month
yeah.
refurbs.
Hmm.
yeah,
Interesting.
it didn't even seem like they refurbished anything. It feels like they
I-
made it work.
I
it's more
kind of feel
dark
like
rider for us. Okay, got you. Interesting.
we were supposed to have a longer track, but at the time that the roller coaster was built, or they had to shorten it, so you hit that wall. I kind of think, oh well, thank God I didn't have my lunch yet, or in my mind, oh, cup check, because you get literally slammed against the damn restraint. Revert back. It's like, damn it, dude. It's like, good thing I
Yeah,
didn't have that.
It's not
long-
much of a it's not as much of a cup check as
You-
Goofy Sky School.
Oh, for real, dude.
well, that
Okay, but here's the
God,
thing.
dude.
Now, wait, really quick on Goofy Sky School. Here's my main complaint about that. Whoever thought in their right mind that they can make a ride vehicle so compact to begin with, you can't even squeeze your ass into that thing. You sit down, you got the bar coming down on your stomach, but on top of all that, they have this little piece of material that's sticking up from the seat.
Right in your center area. It's just
Do they
crazy,
not
right
know what
across.
is down there in a men's area? Like
no.
I don't get it. Like it probably stimulates the women nicely, but I mean for us men, it gives us a fucking division sign. Like
Look, that ride is like the great vasectomy. It just gets rid of all your sperm for you.
yeah, exactly.
Good. I'd rather take the good God. Than
And
ride.
the fact that it doesn't do it just once, the fact that there's like 4 braking systems, and you go on the brake 4 times. They're like, "Did I get your sperm now? Okay, how about this time? Okay, how about this time? Okay."
Exactly. They keep trying, Wizard. They keep trying.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Soon you'll have no balls left.
No, exactly.
Like-
Oh, that's hilarious. So true, though. So true.
Oh my god. And that's
Yeah.
why I always say it's the scariest ride out there, because it's pain. It's the one that could kill you or kill your chance for a future baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Good. So the last. God. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. The girlfriend wants a baby, and I'm like, If I really want one, I'll just ride Goofy Sky School about 10 times in a row, and that'll take care of that problem. Probably save me some money too on a vasectomy, because that is a vasectomy. You ride it enough.
Your girlfriend wants a baby, Conductor?
She wants one. I'm like, yeah, no, yeah, no, I'm good. Pass.
Is she watching right now?
She might be. So
Hello,
I'm
Conductor's girlfriend.
just waiting for my phone to go off with
If
angry.
if you want a baby, then don't take him on Goofy Schedule.
Yeah, no.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
But if you want a baby, ride the Matterhorn.
Right.
Absolutely. I want to talk about the downtown Disney shops and restaurants. But before then, Georgia, I was on your solo live earlier today, and one of the questions I asked you, or I brought up, because we were talking about the Disneyland Resort, and we were talking about, you know, the additions, like where Avatar can go, where Coco can go, and so on and so on. And I happened to mention in a post, I said, well, with all the infrastructure, the Disneyland Resort, with all the entrance gates, and I'm sure with security eventually. I said, well, I know it's a sore subject because probably not a lot of people nowadays, at least at the Disneyland Resort, don't use them. But the magic bands, since they're updating the entrance gates for both DCA and Disneyland, I said in the comments, I said, well, I would like to see more of a bigger, I'm trying to think of the word I can use, but a bigger capability for the magic bands. Do you think that might be possible with all the updates they're doing, and then with the Disneyland Forward happening in the next 5 to 10 years?
Absolutely. I feel like with Disneyland Forward, this is where the difference comes between Disneyland and Walt Disney World. It works in Walt Disney World's benefit right now because it is a vacation style resort that people go for X amount of time, whether it's like a week, 10 days. Okay, you utilize that magic band for your tickets, your hotel room, so on and so forth, to get into like the pools if you're like, it's a restricted area because they only allow like certain hotel guests to go to certain pools. I feel like for Disneyland, it's not best utilized yet because there's nothing really too much that they could do with it right now. But to your question, with Disneyland Forward coming out, and they're going to expand the parks with Disneyland, with DCA, eventually we're going to get a third gate. I just know it. I just have that strong feeling, and especially with the Toy Story parking lot, that becoming the third gate, they're going to end up growing Disneyland to eventually becoming a vacation kingdom, as maybe not as grand as Walt Disney World. I don't think anything can touch with the size and scale of Walt Disney World, but I do think Disneyland will become a week's worth kind of resort that will allow guests to utilize the magic bands like they do at Walt Disney World.
Well, actually, I'm curious about that, George, because someone I saw someone say, but with the, speaking of magic bands, because obviously there's not much to do with them now, but you know, Haunted Mansion's getting a nice new queue, right? And I'm curious, do you guys think they'll add some magic band interactivity in there? Because I feel like it's a perfect opportunity because they're expanding the queue and people have magic bands. Good thing, it'd be a nice way to sell some more if they can add some more interactive, maybe with like a water feature in there or something. And like each time they redo a queue, they should add some magic bands in the current park, or interactive in the current parks like Disney World. Because then I feel like that's
definitely do that, because I did mention that on the solo live, that like how at Walt Disney World for the 50th anniversary, they had like the golden statues of the characters, and you can kind of utilize your magic band to kind of interact and let the character talk and say and say stuff and everything. And I think they also have certain pinpoints, as you were saying, Wizard, down in Walt Disney World. But yeah, they could also implement that into the parks. And I think as they upgrade things like the Haunted Mansion and now possibly even Tiana's Bayou Adventure, expanding out into the Simba parking lot, the Lilo and Stitch lot. That no matter what they add moving forward, and until they eventually hit into a third gate, because I do feel that is the main goal of all of Disneyland Forward, is to expand DCA, expand Disneyland Park, get as much as they can within the hotels in downtown Disney, and then once they hit all that footprint, they're going to move over to the Toy Story lot after the Eastern Gateway and all the car complexes are built and everything, and they'll eventually work on the Toy Story lot for the third gate.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that, George, because for the longest time when Bayou Country was behind walls, Tiana's was behind walls, we saw a lot of the foundation ripped up and conduit being installed. Obviously, for future expansion, like you're saying, Lilo and Stitch is behind Bayou Country, but then right next to Tiana's, you got Haunted Mansion, and like you guys were saying with the Magic Band, or theming elements to the queues, maybe that's the start of it. So at some point with the Simba parking lot and then the Toy Story parking lot, we could be seeing a lot of the foundation ripped up again for more conduit to be laid out for possibly more interactivity with the Magic Bands, including the new Avengers e-ticket attraction, the Stark Flight Labs, and then whatever goes in the Hollywood studios.
And the one plus side about, I do agree with you. I think they would end up having to do that. The one plus side about them doing it is they would be doing it when, like, after the fact they build the complexes, like for the parking garages and everything, that those parking lots will then be closed off, shut down. So basically it wouldn't have any interference on the current footprint that's going on in the day-to-day activities within the park as they're building these things. For instance, Abby and I, when we were at the park, and as Disney nerds, we're standing there looking at a wall while everybody's getting in line for a ride, and there we are talking about like what's beyond this wall in Bayou Country. And honestly, in my personal opinion, what I think would be nice is, because they transported you into Bayou Country, but it still involves that critter aspect.
Sure.
I think honestly, moving into it, Zootopia would be a nice fit going beyond Bayou Country, because if you look at a lot of the stills and a lot of the concept art, and we OG and I got to see some segments of Zootopia too. It's kind of set in like a swampy marsh kind of area outside of the city. So if they were to take that aspect from the sequel and they kind of build that off of Bayou Country, and again, they can do that without it hindering any kind of park operations, because once they build the car parking lots, the current parking lots will just be completely shut off.
Yeah.
To, I guess, while they do the construction.
Oh, absolutely. Don't worry about is, obviously noise complaints. That's just going to happen regardless. But yeah, no, it's entirely possible. And as we're looking at this right now, the Avengers shop, that's going to go into what David from Fresh Bake called early on the building that looked by, even though it's not a Best Buy. I just want to reiterate that like it. You can obviously see the theming elements. And OG, I think we talked about this when me and you were on one of my Conductor live streams. I think it was week or the week before. You can clearly see there's a lot going on in the store. Could this possibly be a Magic Band element right here? Because you got a lot to play with in here. You know what I mean? With elements and whatnot.
Yeah, they might. I never got a Magic Band. I mean, I don't know how. I don't think they really sell too much out here in California, from what I understand. So I don't know how. Yeah, I don't know how much of that they're going to utilize.
Well, see, again, I kind of feel like, because a lot of people felt left out because Walt Disney World had them. They felt that the Disneyland Resort needed to have them. But the big difference is we're very limited on what the Magic Band can do for us out here in SoCal compared to Walt Disney World. But with what George is saying, with Disneyland Forward getting built out over the next 10, 15 years, we could see more activity with the Magic Bands happening. It's just, as it goes on.
Yeah, it would be interesting. It would be interesting. I do think this store will look really cool though inside. I think we're going to see a lot of effects. Like you will see like the LEDs and the on the walls and things like that. I think that's pretty cool. It's a very minimalist overall look though. Like, this is kind of the trend right now with a lot of this stuff, which is fine. I think it's done on purpose because let's just say Marvel, they don't want Marvel in the spot anymore. They can easily swap it out with something else then without, too much work. But we'll kind of see how it all works out. But overall, I'm happy with how it looks. It looks pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. So it says it's opening December the 6th. And what I've seen from David Fresh Bake, because I feel like he lives at Disneyland. He's there practically every day.
He does.
December the 6th does not seem far off to me. Because really, you're talking about signage outside the building, which is very easy to put up. And then, from what I've seen, they've done a lot of work on the inside of those buildings. So really rolling in the merch and sending it up is not really time consuming. It's very quick. I want to ask you about the store going next to Avengers Reserve. Is this Disney store that's kind of like a high-end boutique? What do you think about something like this? Do you think this kind of screams like a Walt Disney World type shop, or what do you think?
I think it actually. I think it's kind of the opposite. I think it's more the opposite. I think they're really pandering to the locals out here with this one.
Sure.
I can see like a lot of the key holders like getting into this because they have a lot of these dresses that I see a lot of the girls wearing when they do Dapper Day and stuff, right? And all that stuff like Dapper Day, all those little things. Those are all more of a locals thing. So yeah, I think the store will be very popular, but it will definitely be more on the local. It'll be geared for locals, I think. I don't think this is really a touristy thing, in my opinion. I could be wrong, but in my opinion, that's what it looks like to me.
Yeah, I
agree. I feel like it's for all because they pack downtown Disney on the weekends for like after Friday night work or whatever. So I feel like that's a good place to just shop. Just like the Portos, I think that's a very locals type of place. There's one out here in the Valley, a couple of them, Northridge and Burbank, and much very a local SoCal type of place. I feel like a lot of people will be at that Portos after work.
Well, I've been to the Portos literally right down the street from Knott's Berry Farm, and I have to tell you, every single time I've gone in there, I'm waiting a minimum of 30 minutes in that line. So I can only imagine what the down version is going to be. It's crazy. And then you got the Disney Wonderful World of Sweets, and I found out yesterday. I watched Dylan from Theme Park Obsession. He has heard that the caramel corn that is offered in Walt Disney World is coming to Disney Wonderful World of popular. What do you think about that?
It's coming there.
Yeah, I think the store, the rebranding of it makes a lot of sense. I've always liked Marceline's because it has that connection to Walt. That was his hometown in Missouri. So I've always liked that element of it, but I understand why Disney would kind of go in this more normie direction. This is much more palatable for the normies. I think you have all the cutesy little, like, like Japanese looking little faces, little, up on the walls and stuff. And they're just going in a more normie direction. And I think that people are going to literally eat this up. They're going to love it. I think they're going to love it. I think it's a smart move. As a diehard Disney fan, I like the name Marceline's better, I think, because like I said, they're more that Walt connection, but 90% of the people going to Disneyland have no idea what that is. So while it's sad to see that go, I can see why they're doing it. While they're doing this,
George, what do you think about Disney Wonderful World of Sweets?
For me, I mean, It looks good. I think I agree with OG. I think this is like the trendy way right now of like
Sure.
this kind of like very vibrant upscale kind of chic kind of way like for shopping and merchandise. I know they have a lot of this kind of look in Disney Springs. So I think that's the route that Disneyland is trying to go. They're trying to kind of catch up with the times to kind of get Downtown Disney out of that old time kind of aesthetics and bring it up to the more modern times.
Sure.
I think it looks nice. I think it's very vibrant. I think to all the normies and the people visiting, I think they'll really dig it.
Oh, absolutely. I do hope though when Disney Wonderful World of Sweets, God, that's a mouthful to say. I hope there is some type of inside to Marceline's. I hope they leave an Easter egg that's easily noticeable to kind of reference back to Walt.
You know, it would be kind of cool. Actually, that's an interesting idea, Conductor. What would be kind of cool if they can get like, if they could take Walt's boyhood home in Marceline and turn it into like a gingerbread house or something, and you just put it up on the mantle somewhere, and that's like a nice little homage to Marceline, you know?
Absolutely. Or you could do that, and on top of that, you can actually have a treat named Marceline's or something reference to that. That
Right.
will be
Oh yeah.
for the Disney Wonderful World of Sweets. So I hope they do it. I hope they don't really erase the Walt's history. I really hope they don't. I really hope they leave some type of Easter egg in this store. So we'll have to wait and see what happens, because apparently, according to Disney, they're going to open the Disney Wonderful World of Sweets. They're going to open D-Lander and the Avengers store on December the 6th. So apparently they have to begin close at some. So hopefully they are.
And Conductor, maybe they can even sell an Easter egg of an Easter egg from Walt Disney.
There you go. Exactly.
I vote. I Easter egg. I vote that.
It's a great idea. That's a great idea.
Parkside, when you look at this building, it kind of reminds me of what the bowling alley looks like. They're trying to go modern type Palm Springs look, and the fact that they're using for multiple businesses, I think that was a brilliant idea. Instead of just having one massive building business.
Yeah, you get more out of it. But I mean, really, this whole area over here was basically just that giant AMC theater.
Yeah.
Now you've turned it into multi-use. You got restaurants, retail, bars, all kinds of stuff in this spot now. Yeah, it's a way smarter use of space, 100%. And this looks really good. I like this little bar area right here.
Oh man. Oh yeah.
It'll be nice at night to look over and watch the bands play.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Parkside Market's going to be busy all the time, especially now. This is the one that gets me going. Portos. This thing looks humongous, and I have to say, for me, looking at this building, I don't think they're going to use any part of La Brea Bakery. I think they're going to level and rebuild from ground up.
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
Portos isn't coming at all.
Yeah, I know. Fans were convinced it wasn't coming. Yeah, I know. No, but I would agree with you. I think they're going to bolt.
I'll tell you what's not coming, okay? And that's a new. Besides Mandalorian and Grogu, it's any other Star Wars movie, okay? That's what's not coming.
That's exactly.
That's
so true. That's so true.
But it's going to be a first of time where it's going to have an indoor bar and an actual table seating restaurant. Do you think that's a smart approach compared to the other locations where it's the quick service?
Yeah, it's a very smart approach, because you're in downtown Disney now, and you can't have a bunch of people flooding out into the middle of downtown Disney waiting for their orders and stuff and queuing up outside. So what you do is you build like a lounge area. So now you fill up all the available space, you know, and it kind of it's a people eater basically now. You know what I'm saying? So
I will say that, I mean, I've never been into a Portos before, but everyone keeps on telling me of how popular and how good the goods are. So I'm very curious to try it myself. But I did see like how the interior and everything is going to look with like the upstairs kind of like balcony view and kind of like a lounge area. I think it looks great.
yeah.
Oh, I think it looks totally wonderful. Again, they're using that stained glass aspect that we saw in the Epcot suite on the Disney Treasure. They're definitely utilizing that a lot. The other thing is, okay, so where Tortilla Joe's was, they're going to have two restaurants, a high-end steakhouse and a barbecue restaurant.
Right.
You know, when I look at the former Tortilla Joe's location, the building itself, it's almost like Rainforest Cafe. It's almost, that building has too much of Mexican type theme to it, where they would have to strip it so far down, it wouldn't even make sense to do that. It would just make more sense just to level it to the ground and start over. But what do you guys think about a high-end steakhouse and a barbecue restaurant coming to downtown Disney?
Yeah, I'm always down for steakhouses. I think that's a great option. It's probably going to be extremely expensive, I'm sure, but you know, but it looks cool. Like his Arthur and Sons is a steakhouse, and I think it. Yeah, I'm all for it, man. I like this stuff. I like it a lot. The barbecue place, I like barbecue. I like it a lot, but that's a little more like there's a lot of other places at the resort you can kind of do that.
Sure.
The steakhouse seems a little more unique, so I'm a little bit more excited about the steakhouse, you know?
Well, I do have to say, though, I don't know if I'm saying this correctly, but compared to Din Tai Fung, looking at Arthur and Sons, looking at Pearl's Roadhouse Barbecue, even looking at Parkside Market and Port's, all those buildings that they are building and constructing, you can kind of tell it again, it references back to the bowling alley, where it has that modern look, but it almost has that blank canvas. So if the business doesn't work out, they can import something in and make very little changes.
Exactly. This is a very mid-century looking kind of building right here with the barbecue thing. You can put just about anything in this space.
Yeah.
Same with Arthur and Sons. You know what I'm saying? Very minimalist design work, mid-century. You can put anything in there. So it's a smart move. It's a smart move. When you have those heavily themed like buildings that are just tailor-made, purpose-built just for like Rainforest Cafe, it's risky when it's a third party, right? Wizard's idea though for the Haunted Mansion was really smart because that's a Disney-owned thing. So you don't have to worry about no third party going out of business. No. They should do that. But you don't want to have purpose-built buildings in there for a third-party vendor. And then what happens when your third party goes out of business, file bankruptcy, you have problems, you know what I'm saying? So for this kind of stuff where they're filling it with third parties, yeah, you want a more versatile space where if they leave, you can put something else in there. It doesn't look, mishmash.
Well, let me ask you guys this. Since you guys brought that up again with the Haunted Mansion, you know, obviously Cafe, that building is being used as Star Wars trading post. What if instead of ripping that building out, which I'm sure a lot of people would love to see go, they build that into a Star Wars themed restaurant? Do you think that might be relevant, or do you think that's not relevant since they've already gone as far as building the up into that space?
If I was to retheme Rainforest Cafe into anything, I would do Indiana Jones.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Like the temple type.
Yeah, I think Indiana Jones would be cool. We've seen a lot of Star Wars stuff. You know, you have Oga's Cantina already. Yeah. So if you're gonna have something to replace Rainforest, I think Indiana Jones would be more exciting, in my opinion.
Well, see, again, and I'm thinking on the aspect of Josh Tomorrow. The guy loves nothing more, from what I've seen, to save money. And if he could save money, then why not take a building that's already been there, do very little modifications, and put an IP in there that everyone loves without demolishing the whole building?
Yeah. No, there's like, you can do that. I mean, as long as it looks good, as long as they put an IP in there that fits that architecture, that's cool. I don't think they're going to do that though. I really think that ESPN and Rainforest are going to go eventually.
Well,
Yeah, me too.
well,
Yeah.
let me ask you guys this then: if they demolish those two buildings, that's a humongous footprint.
Oh
What
yeah.
do you think would go in either location?
Well, you can do it like what you do with AMC. You
Sure.
can build these buildings that, like, you can house multiple vendors now. You can have eating, retail, bars. So now instead of just having Rainforest Cafe, now you have like 4 or 5 different businesses in that same spot.
Sure.
And
A building modern, so it's interchangeable.
right. So that's what I think they're probably going to do. They'll probably bulldoze them eventually, and then they'll put buildings in there that'll have like multiple vendors in there, and yeah.
And that's why when people say, kind of going back to eventually with Disneyland Forward with the third gate, that's why I could still see the Toy Story parking lot becoming the third gate. Because I do know, with the concept art, they have like a Disney Springs-esque kind of area that they're showcasing, but that's just concept art.
Yeah.
With everything, we can't take the concept art to heart. You take it with a grain of salt, that's what they could do. But if they're renovating and adding and upgrading Downtown Disney and spending all this money, why do it if you're then just going to build a West Coast version of Disney Springs with the same offering over in the Toy Story parking lot?
Well, see, that's interesting you say that too. It goes alongside with just the theme parks in general. Like we were talking about with Universal earlier about, bringing a carbon copy of whether it's Dark Universe or the new Harry Potter land to Hollywood, since our parks out here in SoCal are so landlocked and we have to be very precise on what we build and what we bring to the resorts out here. It's kind of like you want to bring something that's not available in Florida or other parks. You want something unique where it's going to work, but it's not going to be a carbon copy. Because why would someone that lives in Florida or on the East Coast come to the Disneyland Resort and experience the same thing they can just experience in Florida, where they either live in the state or they live 2 hours away compared to 8 hours or 10 hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So with the major upgrades that they're doing right now with Downtown Disney, and then you're adding more shopping, more dining, and then you're going to add another thing over at the Toy Story parking lot, almost 75 acres, the same amount of acreage that DCA is holding right now.
Yeah.
Why would Disney waste that perfect opportunity that they'll never get that amount of land that they already own? It just needs rezoned.
Yeah.
It's already zoned for it. It's already zoned for theme park.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, now it is because of Disneyland Forward, so that it would only needed to be rezoned. Like they didn't have to buy anything more.
Exactly.
They already owned it.
Yeah, you're spot on, George. They're not gonna. Fans keep saying they're gonna build retail there, retail and dining in a hotel. First of all, you don't justify a 4th hotel without another park.
Yeah.
Like, so you're gonna have 2 parks and you're gonna have 4 hotels. That makes no sense.
No.
That makes no sense. That's gonna be a park. There might be a hotel component to it somehow. They might work that in there, but it'll be a park eventually.
Well, I kind of see like what Epic Universe is doing right now with the Helios connected to Epic Universe. I could see something like that for the third gate, where there's a hotel, kind of like what the Grand California is attached to DCA, but something more on the Grand Helios aspect, where literally it's more attached to the third gate, but yet have enough room to still have theme park.
Right.
But that.
Yeah. I think that eventually they're gonna do something like that over there. Not anytime soon. I don't think this is happening like in 10 years or anything, but eventually that's what it'll be.
The back end of Disneyland Forward.
Yeah.
Closer to the very end.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's the good thing about resort, they're not hurting for another hotel. They got 4 towers. They got the Grand Californian. They got our place.
Pixar.
Yeah, you know, they got so another hotel is not on the horizon for them. Now, Disneyland full possibly a third gate would have more theme park expansion. Yes, that's on the horizon, but another hotel is not. And if it is, crazy to think about at this point.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
Go ahead.
Well, conductor, I must go. I have to get ready for bed and charge my laptop.
No worries.
So,
Well,
thank you very much for having me on.
No, I'm gonna end it here anyway because it's getting late for me anyway. I want to thank all you guys for joining tonight's Conductor Thursday live stream. Great conversation about everything Universal, Epic Universe, the Disneyland Resort, Walt Disney World, Downtown Disney, just all of it. The Disney Treasure. Man, I would love to go on that ship. Maybe not for that. Maybe not for that $90,000 suite, but if they're offering to do a walkthrough, I'm definitely down for that. Just not paying $90,000 for it. But I want to thank everyone in the chat for joining tonight's live stream. George, I'm going to start with you. Where can everyone find you on social media?
Absolutely. And thanks again for having us all on. It's been a great time. I love talking theme parks, Disney, Universal, cruise ships, whatever we have to talk about. You know, that's how us nerds love to do it, you know. So thank you for having me on Conductor Thursdays.
Well, you said us nerds. What do you got? A lizard in your pocket? Wait, you call it a nerd, man? I'm just kidding.
You're good. But anyway, you can find me on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Disney George. You can also find me on Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky under the Disney Italiano. And of course, you can find me on my home base on Orange Grove 55 with Citrus Corner, with all that sweet, juicy, but sometimes sticky Disney news and info.
There we go.
Absolutely. Wizard?
You can find me on Twitter, Threads, Blue Sky, and YouTube at Theme Park Wizard.
There he is. And you can find me at the club.
Monster on the beat, ho.
No, I'm kidding. you can find me on YouTube, Orange Grove 55. You can find me on Instagram, Orange Grove 55, Blue Sky, Orange Grove 55. And I technically have a X account, but I don't. I just use it to DM these guys, and I don't really tweet anymore. But you can find me on X too, at Orange Grove 55. Thank you, Conductor. We appreciate you, sir. That was awesome.
And a shout out to our guests tonight, you know, with all the great conversation, and our viewers. We have 100 viewers right now. Man, I could go on for another hour, but I'm not going to, but I could. But everyone have a great night. Great to see everybody. And next week we'll have Universal High on. We're going to dive deeper into Universal Hollywood. So stay tuned for that.
So deep. Oh, yeah.